Welcome back to Chint's Motorsport. On this video, I'm fitting a 190e Evolution 1 spoiler to my car, and it's going to be the ultimate chinter. So keep watching, and if you haven't already subscribed, then subscribe. So I just want to give you a brief look at some different 190s so you can compare the differences between a basic model and a 16 valve model, which we can see at the front there with the body kit and the spoiler. Then you can get a better understanding of what the Evolution model is. This is a 2.3 16 valve which come from factory with the body kit, alloy wheels and this spoiler. The engineers at Mercedes designed the 190 in a wind tunnel. Here we can see a basic model in the wind tunnel. Here we can see the 16 valve with the body kit where the aerodynamics were further improved. After the 2.3 16, Mercedes decided to enter touring car racing, so they had to further develop the car. For touring car regulations they had to create a homologation model, manufacturing only 502 to meet the requirements. This is when they created the Evolution 1 and the Evolution 2. Here we have the Evo 2 and Evo 1 side by side, the Evo 2 on the left and the Evo 1 on the right. This is the Evo 1, it's just a slightly more aggressive version than the 2.3 16 valve. The Evo 2 however, look at how big the spoiler is, and the wheel arches are much bigger. This is the Evo 1 spoiler that I'll be fitting. It's a bit more subtle than the Evo 2. And this is a view from the back. What you have to remember about the Evo models is these were designed to be purpose-built race cars. That's why the body kits and the spoilers were so extreme compared to the other versions. So this is the spoiler. I bought it online from a company called Marvel Tuning. Now it's a fiberglass reproduction of the Evolution 1 spoiler. It's quite lightweight and it seems to be quite well made. It has the removable piece across the top that you can see there, and it's bolted in from underneath. Here you can see the fixings to remove that strip across the top. I'm going to leave a link to their website in the description for the video because they also sell parts for other cars, and also somebody else might want one of these spoilers for their 190. So the first job, as you can see here, it has these marks around it from the manufacturing process. I'm going to need to smooth these out and start getting it ready for primer and then eventually for paint. This is a comparison between the Evo 1 spoiler and 190e 2.3 16. You can see here the difference in size. This is like you versus the guy she told you not to worry about. The new one, where this bolts on here, this bolts onto the boot lid of the car. This bolts onto the boot lid of the car the same position here, but, well, and also on this one it bolts into the centre, so there's an extra 2 holes, but I'll show that later. This one mounts in the same place, but this piece overhangs where the rear quarter is, so the spoiler is actually wider, but you can still open and close the boot because it's mounted here. This one is obviously made from fiberglass because it's a reproduction. Whether you can even get a genuine Evo spoiler, I'm not sure, but if you could, I'd imagine the price would be ridiculous. The original Cosworth spoilers are made from like a soft, well, not a hard rubber. Now time to mix some filler, start filling some of the small imperfections and just generally smoothing out this spoiler because they'll all be handmade, they're not going to be 100% perfect, and in order to get it right it does have to be a little bit of finishing involved, which I'd imagine there is with every sort of aftermarket fiberglass part that you buy. So I'm just having a look at the spoiler and I'm sanding it down, and I've noticed this number that's sort of engraved into the mould. I'm wondering if each spoiler is individually numbered, and this is number 141. This is a 16 valve spoiler that I fitted a couple of years ago. Fits a bit different to the other one, so I'll explain how that fits now. You've got bolts in here and on these edges. Right, so I've already unbolted it so I can take it off. So if we look here, you've got these two bolt holes where you put bolts in there, and these ones where these studs fit through. And when I fitted this, what I did was I put some paint around all of these, and then I just put the spoiler on the car where it was supposed to be, put it down, touched it. The paint marked up where I needed to drill. So that's how I figured out the measurements. Now the next bit is changing this spoiler to the other one. Is the fitment still the same? This is the new spoiler, the Evo spoiler. As we can see straight away, it doesn't have these middle pieces, so these holes won't be used anymore. So I'll have to weld these up and fill them. But if you're fitting this for the first time, then you won't have any holes at all. Right, looks like that hole needs a bit more taken out of it because it's not perfectly centre. And I'll have to check the other side as well. This top hole doesn't line up at all, so I'm going to have to drill that out a bit, but the bottom one does. As you can see here, they put these holes in so you can get access to put a tool in to put your spoiler on, and this one as well. That's what that's there for. I need something to measure it with. Let's have a look at my measurements, draw what we've got. Yeah. Perfect. Vintage. That'll work. So I'm going to take a measurement now. Let's have a look. Right, so I'm taking some more measurements here. Looking at the spoiler, now with this being made from fiberglass and being a reproduction, it's never going to be 100% accurate. If we measure from the outside of the spoiler to the inside of this piece here, right, we've got this measurement here, it's just over 120 mil, see about 122 mil for that. Now this one, we've got 130. That's the 10 mil difference that I thought was in my holes, and it's not, it's in the spoiler. So the problems that causes now is where the rear quarter panel has this curve here, see, this curve across the side of the car. This spoiler should line up with this, and it shouldn't have a lip there. So because the spoiler's 10 mil out, one side's got a lip and one side doesn't. You could fit that. What do you think about that? Let's have a look. It's got the quality inspector in, have a look. And off he goes. Right, anyway, so depending on how fussy you are, you could just paint it and fit it and you might not really notice, but I want to try and get this fitted as best I can, so I'm going to have to find somewhere that's in the middle and try and balance it out so that the gap on each side is both the same. You never get it 100% perfect really, but you can see that there's a gap there on that side and not so much on that side. I think the spoiler is going to have to move over, maybe it's about 5mm. It's a very small amount. If I can just move those holes over 5mm, that should make all the difference. So that's it fitted loose there. See, so I've adjusted a bit. Just moved the holes along a touch, and that straightened the gap out. The other thing is, with the gap on the bottom there, to try and get the match on both sides, you can see on the boot of these cars you have these rubber pieces here you can wind them in and out. It gives you an adjustment on the boot. So I've adjusted one side a touch. The boot still sits, well, you can see it lines up still on the quarters there, but you can sort of balance that gap out there as well. So there's a lot of things to adjust to get that to sit straight, but I'm happy with that fitment there now. I can make a final adjustment once it's painted and I fit it properly. Now I think it's time to take the boot off the car, strip it all down, this handle off, the lock, all the badges off, weld these holes up, and I'll have to start preparing this for paint. The spoiler's already ready, just getting into primer, and then I can get them painted and fitted again afterwards. So I'll start taking it off now. That's all done with these. Original part number. Right, so I'm mixing up some primer now to prime the boot and the spoiler. There's only a little bit left in here, there's something I've got left over, but this is high build primer. Fills in all the little scratches and all the imperfections. It's good stuff. I'm just giving it a stir now because it's been sat for a while, but this is a really thick primer, so what you want. Right. Then the next one is your hardener. My hardener stood in a madras jar. This is fast hardener. What I need, because I need to be quick with this job. Good time at Chintz Motorsport. I'll just put a bit in, stir it. Right, this is the gun I'm using now, just for primer, because I've got the two DV1 paint guns that I'm using for colours and clears now. So this is just going to be a primer gun. So I'm just about ready to paint, just getting my gun set up. Just bought a new one, so I had the DV1 clear coat gun, which comes in gold to indicate that this is the clear coat version. And I've been after the blue one for a while, which is the base coat gun. And I've just bought this one, it's brand new, has the digital pressure gauge on it. This is the first time that I'm going to be putting any paint in and using this gun, so got the paint ready.
If you talk all the time, you'll never hear what anybody else has to say. And therefore all you'll have to talk about is your own conversation.
So I've fitted the boot and the spoiler, but I haven't put the badges back on yet. I've brought it outside just to see what it looks like on the road, and oh, it's Chintz worthy. What do you think? Leave a comment. I think there's a massive improvement on the Evo spoiler over the much smaller 16 valve spoiler. So here's a little look around the car and a couple of photos at the end. I'm gonna love yous and leave yous, Chintzers. Until the next time, thanks for watching. Goodbye.